honesty and joy of God. Honesty may be the most mysterious aspect of the divine. When faced in a world that has no honesty, it can seem confusing that you would almost be taken back to the beginning to learn the truth of honesty, truth and honesty. Of course, in incarnation, no one realizes that there is no honesty. And most try to be honest. But when you are beginning with a dishonest identity, everything becomes part of that belief. And joy and honesty are in your heart together. There is nothing more joyous than honesty, because honesty is freedom. Freedom from the prison that has been made of fear. There is only the purpose of fear in the identity of dishonesty. When a beloved wants to prove, wants to protect, defend, wants to be right, all of it is going to come from a place of dishonesty, because there's nothing to be right about, and there's nothing to prove. There's nothing to win. So the dishonesty will emerge from that belief and present itself. But in the spiritual journey, the Spirit of Love gives every opportunity to find truth, to find honesty. The most honest words that can be used are, I don't know. I don't know how to look on this. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it's for. And that invitation to the I don't know is an invitation to honesty. It isn't a punishment of any kind. It's a doorway to freedom. Because everything that has been known in this temporary identity has been made up from the past. And the not knowing is the essential medicine to unweave the false identity. Sometimes the phrase, I don't know, sticks in fear within a beloved, as if a tornado will come when the words are uttered, I don't know. What? You don't know? You're supposed to know. That's what the mind is running also. And there are so many agreements to push into knowing that the words and the declaration can be lost. I don't know. I don't know how to look on anything without help. Don't know how to walk in this world without new direction. I don't know. I don't know what to say unless I can open to the divine vibration of truth. Remembering always that you're always listening to either the ego or to the truth of love. You are never coming to anything with your own ideas. You have learned either from the ego or you are now learning from the truth of God. Truth or illusion. And yet the fear of not knowing can hold a beloved prisoner for lifetime after lifetime, wanting to avoid having to say, I don't know. The anxiety that comes from needing to know is very painful. It's as if you're being taken to the guillotine, but nothing could be further from the truth. To not know is the beginning of freedom, of reality, of love, of oneness. Embrace it and allow the learning of truth to enter. To open to the learning of truth, the schoolroom of love. There's no helpfulness in bringing your opinions to the divine and saying, well, this is my opinion, what have you got? That will keep you locked in the past lives. But to come empty onto God, onto love. Teach me, show me, guide me. I don't know the way. And I don't know how to look at any situation until I ask for help to learn the way of love. Nothing to defend. To be without defense is also part of the coming home to freedom. Most beloveds are so used to being defended that they're not even aware of the pain that comes with it. It seems so normal. Tension, worry, comparisons. all of them arising all the time. In the truth of freedom, there is no more tension, no more disturbance, no more comparisons, no more battles, no more contests. Just resting in love, in joy, in honesty. Your truth, your light, your love that you truly are as one with God, the great joy for all eternity is what you are. And your divine spirit cannot in any way touch anything dishonest because it is pure and holy and created by God. And that is the truth of your divine self. That is the only thing that is true of you. Honesty of God, joy of God. Celebrate that honesty, celebrate that joy, because it is your natural self. Every moment has this beautiful choice of coming home. All the help of the heavens, all the help of all divine beings that are becoming more and more familiar to each beloved. Allow that strength and that light and that honesty to come and serve you always. Dance with the divine in the freedom of joy. Laughing at mistakes, laughing at the errors of thinking, laughing at the attempt to protect anything. When I feel this pain inside and I find nowhere to hide, Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. This sorrow now imprisons me. Somehow I need to be set free. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Heal me of my hurt and fear. Reveal the face of God so near. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. The safety of a mother's care, for Jesus it was always there. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. As I move toward the light, defend me from the dark of night. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Thank you for the love you give. In compassion for your Son I live. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Mother, rain your love on me. Rain your love on me. Mother, Divine Mother, rain your love on me. When you're asking this prayer, rain your love on me, you're allowing a bold declaration. You're not being cool. You're not being smart. You're dropping down into a place that says, I just want to remember love. I just want to be the truth that God has promised. And Divine Mother, as you rain your love on me, I am blessed. And then I can see more clearly. I can recognize the true connection more easily. But the asking is ours. The asking is from within. There's a fear of asking because it seems sometimes that when you are praying, when you are asking for help, that you're saying you're not capable. You should be able to do this yourself, figure it out yourself. And this is the pride that the ego has developed that wants to take you down a road that will lead to nowhere. There's nothing more filled with strength, filled with power than the prayer of asking for help. Show me the way. I saw a great radiance, and I saw a fountain of knowledge. I drank of her water, and she gave me the strength to carry on. In this river of God, I put myself to navigate. I took her boat, and I encountered the Holy Grail. I heard her voice, and her song said to me, whoever drinks from this chalice has a path to uncover. I heard her voice, I heard her song. Whoever drinks of this chalice has a secret to uncover of truth. Praise in the heights to the one who brings this power. The holiness, the blessedness of the divine is here in every moment. El viem grande e clara, viu fonte do saber. Eu bebi da sua água, me deu a força para vencer. Nesse rio de Deus, eu me pus a navegar. Eu tomei a sua barca, grau sagrado foi encontrar. Ouvi a sua voz, é o seu canto eu me dizer. Quem bebe desse cálice tem caminho repercorrer. Ouvi a sua voz, eu ouvi o seu cantar. Quem bebe desse cálice tem segredo em desvendar. Hosana nas alturas é quem deu esse poder. Sus santas palabras benditos en nachures y poder. Allow yourself to see the great radiance. It happens most frequently when there is a quietness within, when there is a welcoming and a resting. And in that quietness, sometimes it's just a flash, sometimes it lingers, but all of it is a learning to accept beyond this world, beyond this temporary world, is the world of love. And to bring that world of love into this moment, to bring it home, here, now, and accept that there is a great radiance always right with you, waiting for your quietness, waiting for your stillness, waiting for your declaration, I don't know. And it isn't because it's waiting as if there's a secret code. It's because there is a door that is closed, a veil that is dropped, that doesn't allow the light to shine through. And that door that is closed is the knowing, the reactions, the knowing, the beliefs of this world. But love will wait until you finally open to that not knowing and invite the divine. Without any expectations, without any preconceived ideas of what it means, what it's for, but open and available. Make a goofy face. Fear likes a moving target. If a tiger were chasing you, your only chance of survival might be to stop, turn around, and look into his eyes, then stick your thumbs in your ears and wiggle your fingers. You might as well try anything in a desperate situation. And that seems perilous indeed. A wild beast drooling jaws in your vicinity. Yes. As a last option, make a goofy face. This can be befitting to situations in life in general. And fear, if it thinks it can't take root in you, will go somewhere else for easier pickings. Most roots like something still and undisturbed to grow in. There are always various aspects of nature at play that parallel their parent, metaphysical laws. Sit down with the name of God on your tongue and let your spirit arms reach within and embrace something sacred there. You might begin to shine. All that lives in shadows, all names and forms, will then run from or bow to the king of the jungle, your soul, your soul. Fear likes a moving target. What is a moving target within the world of illusion that demonstrates itself as fear? That antsy place that is within, that is trying to predict or know what to expect is trying to stay ahead of the game and know what's next, the moving target. But if you stop and turn around and make a goofy face, what then? What happens when that goofy face that you can be making, even if it doesn't actually manifest itself on your face, but you're making a goofy face within yourself because there is a message for you that is coming from the divine that says, stop taking yourself so seriously with what you think you know. Stop holding it in pride that what you know, what you can be 2 steps ahead of, what you can expect, what you figure out is always coming from fear. It's not coming from a place of peace. It's not coming from a divine inspiration through your stillness. It's coming from your fear. And when it comes from your fear, that expectation, that anticipation, that belief that you can figure out what's next, that fear is terror. But it's been so accepted as natural, as normal, that the fear doesn't even get recognized as fear. The concentration of trying to be ahead of the game is a place of pain. And the divine is calling you to make a goofy face because it's a desperate situation. Every time that you believe that your knowing and your fear are colluding, it's a desperate situation. It's only desperate because you believe in it and because you believe that you're handling it. That God is calling you to stillness and to trust and to honesty and to joy. That doesn't anticipate anything, but allows the teachings and the gifts that are right there for you to be just showing up. You are never without the means of making a decision with love. You're never without that. It's always there for you. Fixed. Fear is fixed. It's something that travels with you and stays with you until you're no longer willing to give it your faith, your trust, your life. How do you step out and make the goofy face? It's to sit down with the name of God and let your spirit arms reach within and embrace something sacred there. You might begin to shine. So what does the ego say? The ego says, I don't know where my spirit arms are. And I don't even know how to hold the name of God for more than a second. But I am willing. I'm willing for love to show me how to wrap my spirit arms around my heart to embrace the spirit within and find that sacredness that is within. And there's nothing of the world's identity that is coming with you in those moments, in those deep opportunities of going within. The stillness with the name of God. How long can you rest in the stillness with the name of God in your awareness? And are you willing to take those spirit arms and reach within and embrace something sacred? Are you willing to allow the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of love, and all divine beings to convey to you your divineness, your wholeness, mysteries of love? Are you willing? And in any situation, are you willing to be not right? Not right. That may be the most terrifying idea. To be right is to hold the illusion intact through all different kinds of situations. What is it to be right? What if you made, instead of being right, you made a goofy face and said, I don't know? Would you be losing your best friend being right? Has it become for you such a weapon, such a needed ally to be right? Because if you're not right, something disastrous happens. Make the goofy face because nothing disastrous can happen. And to be right is the painful place of hell. It goes right along with fear. It's all about fear. How can you enter into the mysteries of the universe and be right about what you think you know of an illusion? Those are the places that start to unravel as you find your way home. And your home is within. Go into the silence. Sit down with the name of God on your tongue and let your spirit arms reach within and embrace something sacred there. Discover the sacredness within. Discover your true self. That is the journey. And you wouldn't think that making a goofy face would be part of it, or sticking your tongue out, or laughing at your wanting to be right, but how necessary it is to realize that being right has given you fear and pain in a false identity. Making a goofy face. The goofy face is calling to the pride that the ego believes in so deeply. And what is pride? Pride is an inwardly directed emotion that's meaning projects a foolishly and irrationally corrupt sense of personal value and status. That's a mouthful. Pride. You know it when you have it. At least you can. You can be aware of it because it keeps you from having a goofy face and laughing at your own pretense of knowing. And how important is it to be able to laugh at the pretense of knowing and of being right? Have you ever seen someone who is adamant about being right, which always has pride as its sidekick? Anyone who is determined to be right is not laughing. They're not making a goofy face. They are serious. This is serious business to be right. And the pride that goes along with it is like a prison that wraps metal around your system, your spirit, your whole identity gets wrapped in this metal of protection and determination. Pride is going to be protected. You've got to be right. When you look at the world, almost everyone has that belief that they need to find being right all the time. That's the goal. One of the many goals is to be right. But how can you be right when you're living in an illusion? What is there to be right about? And what is it for? Because that is at the center of it. To be right is to believe that you need protection. That if you are wrong, as opposed to being right, you are in danger and you are condemned by your own belief. You've lost the game. You've lost the challenge. You were wrong. To be right or wrong, you have to believe that it's real and that somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. But most of all, to be right is a protection, a belief that you can be protected by being right, by knowing ahead, by being on top, by figuring things out. Being right is also a place of aloneness. It's a place that self-satisfies the ego for a little while, and the pride that comes with it of being the knower, of being the one who's right, is again a prison cell. And it gets tighter and tighter as you want more and more to be right, and you want more and more to feel that sense of pride that is giving you worth within the world. But it's, at the same time, it's terrifying, because to be in that pride, to be right, is to be separate, on your own, dependent on your knowing. And secretly, you know that you don't know. You know that your knowing is limited. At the very least, it's limited. And that place of pride and knowing and being right is terribly afraid of others who might top you, that they may know more, that they may have a better way, that they may have more success, that they may be more aware of knowledge within the world. And then you're shaken. And it's that moment that you think somebody else has more than you do and knows more than you do, and that you're threatened by. That's the cat. That's the tiger that's coming toward you, charging at you. And that's when you make the goofy face and break the spell of pride and break the spell of knowing and start to laugh at the insanity that you have believed in and that you have fought for and defended, when there's no winning. You will not win. No one will win in the world of illusion. And yet God keeps calling to let your spirit arms reach within and find the sacred within you. And that sacred within you has nothing to do with anything that you made. You can't take your spirit, you can't take the sacredness within you and say, look what I did. Look what I produced. Look what I figured out. It can't. It has no relationship at all to the sacredness within you. The sacredness within you is honest. The sacredness within you is humble. The sacredness within you realizes that there is no you that is separate from God and that has anything other than what God has created. There's nothing to be holding in pride of what you made or what you think you are. You're the creation of God. Can't take credit for being a creation of God. And where does the pride go? It goes down the drain when you start laughing and making those goofy faces. It's given back to God to disappear because it has no value and no worth. And the funniest thing about pride and knowing is that you can believe that your pride is hidden under a facade of accomplishment, but it's really not. It puffs itself out all over the place, and at the same time, it plays a game of, I have to beat you. I have to beat whoever it is to know more, to do something better. And underneath it all is the fear that you would feel if you were facing a wild animal, looking down its throat, its teeth. That's how painful it is in the world to try to compete with anything or anyone. And yet, it keeps being promoted. So how do you live in the world if you don't have your proving to do? You walk in the world with joy. You walk in the world with peace. And you walk in the world with sacredness that you have discovered through the stillness with God. And you joyfully embrace and celebrate that you don't know. And that you are so connected to the truth of love that as soon as you utter the words, I don't know. Help is there to show you reality, to show you what was hidden under your pride, under your thinking that you knew. But there's a whole landscape of love that is waiting to be discovered. All in perfection, all in harmony, if you allow it. Where does pride go? In the spiritual journey. Can't bring it with you. You can try, but eventually you have to drop and surrender the pride and the knowing, because or else you just spin in the same place over and over and over again. But what the ego tries within the spiritual journey is then to attach to spiritual knowing, spiritual accomplishments, spiritual gifts that have opened, and they become personal. And in that personal, you're back in the same place of pride and knowing. Because in the spiritual journey, all the openings, all the awarenesses, all of the healings, all of the learning is a gift. You didn't make it. You didn't develop it. It was given. Because all that you are is given. So there's still no room for pride. There's still no room for knowing. Even though pride is an inwardly directed emotion, so it's not meant to be seen outside. It's meant to be held within and reveled in. But it's a place of pain. It stops you from connecting your heart to humanity, to every beloved. And pride is the cover of self-hatred. Everybody carries self-hatred in the world because that's the ego's domain. But pride is the cover. And it promotes self-hatred because you are trying to be on top. You are trying to be better. As if something convinced you that that was the way to success, that was the way to freedom. But it never takes you to freedom. There is nothing more glorious than the lack of pride and the lack of being right. To not need to be right allows you to be, to rest in God, to rest in love itself, and to be generous with your heart, to be generous. So generous that without pride, you can lift others up and hold them as sacred, and you are not threatened by it. Pride says, I'm not lifting anybody else up. I'm in it to find my success. But in the world of love, the lack of pride says, I am happiest when I am lifting others into the light of truth through my heart. And I'm glad to temporarily be under them, underneath them, lifting, because we are one. And in that lifting, freedom comes. And pride disappears completely because it can't exist in love. Imagine if everybody could see pride, if it appeared like a stain on your forehead, and pride showed up and showed itself, and you couldn't be secret with it anymore. How would you explain it? What would be the reason for the pride? What would you think that you were there to protect it, to nurture it? And if being right showed itself in a similar fashion, and your intention of being right was strongly determined, how would you explain being right? How would you talk about your need to be right and be right about it? And all of this, all of the pride, all of being right, all of the ideas of the belief that you can be unfairly treated, or that you need pride and being right to protect yourself in some way, all of these lies can just be healed instantly as you accept that you don't know. Because as you accept that you don't know, you're saying, I'm putting my life into the hands of God. I'm putting my life, my daily life, my forever life into God's hands, because that's where the knowledge is. That's where the true freedom is. That's where reality is. I say yes. I say yes to being in the schoolroom of love and no longer wanting to be right. Not even to hold that you are right about anything. What if you think that the temperature, that you know what the temperature is of the day? And there's a sense of pride that you're the one that carries that temperature in your knowing. And what if you're never right? And what if you acknowledge that it means nothing, and you make a goofy face and realize, what do I want to be right about the weather? Why do I need to be right about it? What does it give me to know what the temperature is, or to think I know what that means? And what would happen if you just realized, I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm allowing the divine to show me what is most helpful to be aware of. And it has nothing to do with the world that I think I know. I don't know. If someone else says to you, the temperature is 80 degrees, do you want to prove them wrong? Do you want to prove that you knew it before they did? Do you want to know something else to up them one? All of that has to be healed. It's a prison. It's a self-attack. It's a separating tool of the ego. God is just asking you to recognize that you don't have to hold that fear anymore, that joy and honesty are part of your heart. And honesty means, I don't know. I don't know what you need. but I'm willing to be shown how to be of service. I don't know what to analyze about anyone or anything. I'm just learning how to love. I don't know what the temperature is. I don't know anything. And can I change my language to hold that in sacredness? I don't know what the temperature might be today. Will I know? Maybe. But it's not mine. I don't own it. I have no pride in knowing that. And can I put different words in my heart that are gently saying, maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know what's best there. Let me see if I can discover something. But that humility of not knowing allows the divine to actually show you. I don't know who I am. I don't know what anything is for. I don't know how to look on anything. I don't know what it means. So can I change my relationship to it and surrender it to God and not be the knower anymore that adamantly says this is how it is, instead of maybe we can look at it this way. Maybe it would be helpful to see things in a new way. The healing is right there waiting for you. And at the center of it is a declaration. Let us be still for this instant and forget all things we have ever learned and all thoughts that we have had and every preconception that we hold of what things mean and what their purpose is. Cleaning the slate, opening the doors to love. Let us remember not our own ideas, but to question what might be most helpful. Let us remember not our own ideas of what the world is for. We do not know. Let every image held of everyone be loosened from our minds and swept away. Be innocent of judgment. Wanting no judgment, no being right, no urge to be the knower. Be innocent of judgment, unaware of any thoughts of evil or of good that have ever crossed your mind of anyone, of anyone. Now do you know him not? He is new to you. You do not know the truth of that beloved. But you are free to learn of him and learn of him in truth. To live this declaration is to be joyous. Because every thought that you have that you believe is fixed is coming from your own mind of the pain of the ego. The fear of the ego is running every thought. Let us be still and forget all things we have ever learned, all thoughts we had. Now, what the ego would want to say to that is, how can I function? To trust in God is to trust in a new way of functioning, a new way of learning, a new way of discovery. You will never be left without what is needed for your journey of love. You will never be without the means of learning the truth of love. But the pride won't go with you. When you see a true smile of love, it's because there is no pride, because there is happiness coming from the heart that radiates through all expression. There's nothing to win, nothing to prove, nothing to get, nothing to control. It's sitting back and letting your spirit arms wrap themselves within and find the sacredness that is within you. And the pride has to disappear. All the times that pride has been used in believing that it kept you safe and that it gave you achievement or advance disappears because it was never true. It was a false identity. And you can make that goofy face now. You can laugh now at the insanity of believing that we knew anything in this world. But everything that enters with the I don't know is of love. When you can look at a beloved and realize, I don't know who you are, I don't know the truth of you right now, but I want to. I want to see the light that you are. I want to see the light, but I have to have the help to see that light because I can't conjure it up because everything that I made was in darkness. Everything that I made was in tension, was in fear. It was in protection. It was in defense. And it was in battle. And it has no truth. But we are not left without. We are not left to our own ways. All of love helps every beloved to find the way of joy, to find the way of honesty. The word honesty means consistency. And to be consistent in everything that you say and everything that you think and everything that you see, everything that you identify with, everything is honest in the truth of God. And you can no longer tolerate your relationship, your old relationship to pride, to being right, because it becomes sour. It becomes intolerable because it has no truth. And when you see pride in its beliefs of manipulation, you realize how painful pride has been. You realize how painful being right has been. Your vocabulary starts to change and align with what you're truly wanting. And your vocabulary starts to be, it might be this way. We might look at it this way. I don't know exactly which way it would go, but it'll be shown to us. It becomes a whole different relationship because you're no longer the knower. This is not a punishment. This is freedom. The freedom to realize that you are the recipient of all the knowledge of the world, of the universe, and that the world's lies are what you are letting go of. All the beliefs that you've carried about who you are, what you think you know about the world, what goes on, what it means, none of it has any truth to it. Open to love, open to the knowledge that the Spirit of love brings to you, because that is what you are. The Spirit of love, the truth of love, the light of God, the joy, the honesty, every gift that God has ever bestowed as part of love is yours. But you didn't make it. You didn't develop it. You didn't figure it out. You were created with it. It is the gift. It would be like hearing a beautiful song played by a violin and saying, yeah, I composed that. I composed that. I'm a composer. Yeah, I know all those things. You would laugh at that and laugh at everything else that you've made up. Because that music, that's the gift. That's the gift from the divine. And it belongs to everyone. It belongs to the universe. There's nothing to own. Pride depends on ownership. It's mine. I did something. I made something. I accomplished something. I know something. Come and rest with the laughter, with the goofy face, and realize we didn't make anything. We don't know anything. And yet we are everything. That is the truth of love. You are God's creation, perfect and whole. And there's nothing to prove, nothing to hold on to of knowing. How can I serve? How can I ask that question? How can I serve you if I think I already know what it is that I should do? How can I serve? Show me the way. I'm happy to be the learner, the happy learner, instead of the knower. A place of ease and peace awakens within you, because pride is falling away, and being right is no longer your friend.